You've probably never heard the name Maxwell Maltz, and if you have, you probably don't know the full weight of what he left behind. He wasn't a philosopher, not a monk, not a guru on some mountaintop. He was a plastic surgeon in the 1950s, a man trained to fix what the world could see. Broken noses, crooked jaws, scars of war, he thought. Like many, that if you could change how someone looked, you could change how they felt. Heal the outside and the inside would follow. But something started to bother him. He'd perform perfect surgeries, transformations, faces that went from shame to symmetry to beautiful. And still, patients would look in the mirror and see the same broken person they were before. Same pain, same fear, same belief that they were ugly or unwanted or invisible. And that's when he realized the scars that ruin us most aren't the ones you can cut out. They're the ones you believe are there, even when they're not. That revelation led him down a rabbit hole of psychology, neuroscience, hypnosis, behavioral conditioning, cybernetics, and what would eventually become one of the most impactful self-development books ever written, Psycho-Cybernetics. Not a catchy title, but a terrifyingly accurate one. Because the book doesn't talk about good vibes or willpower or fake motivation. It rips the curtain back on how your brain is built like a machine, a servo mechanism, a targeting system. Your mind is a missile, and your self-image is the destination. Whatever you believe about yourself, your subconscious will do everything it can to make it come true. Whether it's success, failure, invisibility, chaos, rejection, doesn't matter. Your system will distort reality until the belief fits the picture. That's why Maltz said you can't try harder your way out of low self-esteem. You can't hustle your way out of self-loathing. Because the blueprint, the internal image, is still corrupted. And unless you rewrite the self-image first, every goal you touch will collapse under the weight of who you secretly think you are. That's what this video is about. It's not some motivational speech. It's but a psychological weapon. Because if your mind is a machine, you better learn how to reprogram it. Before the lies that built you end up defining you. You become what you think you are, even if it's a lie. Let's break the lie. What if the biggest enemy you've ever faced is the version of you that lives inside your head? What if your failure weren't about what you did, but who you think you are, not who you want to be, not who you try to act like, but the version of you your brain quietly reports back to when no one's looking? The self-image. You become what you think you are, even if it's a lie. This isn't some inspirational poster. This is cold reality. This is why most people never change. Because the war isn't out there, it's internal. It's not your boss, not your ex, not society. It's the echo of who you've agreed to be, because it's familiar. And familiar lies feel safer than painful truths. You think you're lazy, you'll act like it. You think you're unwanted, you'll chase the people who won't love you. You think you're broken, you'll attract chaos to confirm it. Not because it's true, but because the brain is a machine, a goal-seeking mechanism. And the target it returns to is the identity you keep feeding it. Dr. Maxwell Maltz called it the theater of the mind, not a metaphor, a literal system. Stage your subconscious returns to every day. The same roles, same lighting, the same lines, whispered by a cast of ghosts. Your old coach, that bully, that parent, that moment you embarrassed yourself and never forgave it. And unless you rewrite the script, you're just an actor. It's performing your pain. Maltz wasn't born to be a psychologist. He was a surgeon, a fixer of faces, reshaping cheekbones, reconstructing jaws, removing scars. But here's what disturbed him. Some of his patients walked out of surgery, glowing. They felt reborn. Others, they left looking different, but feeling exactly the same. Still insecure, still ashamed, still hiding. Because even though the mirror changed, the mind didn't. They still saw themselves the old way. And he realized the scars that damage us most aren't on our skin. They're embedded deep in the subconscious, wired into our identity system. That's when Maltz shifted. He spent years studying hypnosis, behaviorism, cybernetics, and the mechanics of perception. What he uncovered was disturbing. The human brain doesn't know the difference between reality and a vividly imagined experience. That's how trauma traps you. It's how you can relive pain without even realizing it. It's why you still hesitate when you walk into certain rooms, hear certain tones, or even see certain colors. Your system was programmed involuntarily by emotion and repetition. And now, you're a machine running an outdated operating system. Your self-image is not your personality. It's not your truth. It's a glitch that became gospel. Maltz called the mind a servo mechanism, a cybernetic system like a heat-seeking missile or an autopilot airplane. Once it's given a target, it adjusts behavior, thought, and perception to move toward it, automatically. Here's the catch. If your target is "I'm not enough," the system doesn't question it. It executes it, unconsciously. Choose partners who treat you like a burden. Avoid opportunities that make you visible. Sabotage progress just before the breakthrough. Not because you're weak, because you're precise. Your precision is aimed at staying loyal to a lie you never chose. We think our identity is who we are. It's not. It's who we believe we are allowed to be. There's a difference. If you don't speak up because deep down, you believe you shouldn't. You don't try harder because part of you believes you'll fail anyway. You don't love fully because something in you expects it to disappear. That's not reality. That's a distorted self-image. And like a cracked mirror, it reflects a broken world. There's no gentle way to say this. You have to reprogram yourself. That doesn't mean affirmations. That doesn't mean vision boards. That doesn't mean high vibes only. It means war. It means excavating your blueprint. Confronting the identity you've protected for years. Replacing every behavioral glitch with intentional programming. You don't need motivation. You need a new internal architect. And you can't build with the same tools that built your cage. Here's what makes Maltz's work different. He didn't preach. He prescribed. He showed how repeated mental rehearsal could literally reshape the nervous system. Basketball players who imagined free throws every day got better, even without touching a ball. Soldiers who rehearsed staying calm under pressure performed stronger than those who didn't. Because the subconscious doesn't speak English. It speaks image, feeling, action. So if every day you rehearse, "I'm a nobody, I don't matter, nothing works out," then don't be surprised when your reality obeys. But if you start feeding your system a new vision, not a wish, but a blueprint, with movement, emotion, power, it has no choice but to adapt. You could be smart, logical, analytical, and still be ruled by a broken self-image. Because intelligence doesn't override programming unless it's aimed inward. Rational thought is like a spotlight, but the self-image, that's the stage. And no matter how smart your flashlight is, it can't change what the play is about if the script is wrong. Most people think self-awareness means insight, but insight without reprogramming is just awareness of your chains. Knowing you're stuck is not the same as getting free. You know this. You've told yourself, "I shouldn't feel this way," but you do. You've said, "I know I'm not that person anymore," but you still act like you are. Because logic doesn't erase belief, it only argues with it. If your emotional blueprint says you're worthless, you can debate it all day, but your nervous system still obeys the original plan. This is where most people fail. They try to change their life from the outside in. New habits, new books, new people. But the mind doesn't care what happens externally. It only cares what's expected internally. Maltz made this clear. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between an actual experience and one that is vividly imagined. Let that hit. This is why athletes rehearse victory in their minds before stepping onto the field. Why actors run emotional scenes in the mirror. Why trauma survivors relive their worst day without even trying. The subconscious treats vivid rehearsal as reality. So if you never mentally rehearse the identity you want, and you only keep reacting to the identity you were given, guess what? Your past will always be your future. Every goal you touch will collapse under the weight of "I'm not that kind of person." You'll write the book, but you'll never publish it. You'll lose the weight, but gain it back. You'll meet someone new, but destroy it when it gets too real. Why? Because success that violates your self-image will be sabotaged like a virus infecting the system. The immune system of the subconscious will attack anything unfamiliar, even if it's better. That's how deep this goes, Carl Jung said. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The parts of you that sabotage aren't evil. They're hidden, buried, rejected, forgotten. The shadow is not just darkness. It's everything you refuse to admit about yourself. Your anger, your rage, your brilliance, your ambition, your hunger, your selfishness. All shoved into the basement, because the self-image you built doesn't allow them. I'm the nice guy. I'm the quiet girl. I'm the loyal one. Meanwhile, your real desires rot underground, twisting into resentment, fear, sabotage. You can't heal what you won't face. You can't fix what you won't feel. To rebuild your self-image, you must face your shadow. Not just journal about it, not meditate it away. You meet it, you speak to it, you invite it into the light. Because the parts of you you've been afraid of are the missing keys to your full potential. Let's break this down into action. Case 1. The invisible man. Grew up being ignored by a chaotic family. Self-image is I don't matter. Adult life. Chose silent jobs. Avoided leadership, stayed single. Started visualizing himself being heard. Practiced speaking out in mirror. Joined small speaking events. Rewrote identity as someone valuable. In 6 months, team lead, relationship. Clearer voice. Not perfect, but real. Case 2. The overachieving ghost. Top of the class student. Big job, no fulfillment. Self-image is only worth love if I'm perfect. Sabotaged vacations, avoided rest. Couldn't receive affection. It's therapy plus self-image reconstruction. Rehearsed self who's loved without conditions. Now, smaller house, bigger peace. These aren't motivational speeches. They're identity surgeries. And the only difference between them and you is whether you'll do the work or stay in the cage. Your self-image is not static. It's plastic, moldable, alive. But only if you treat it like the battlefield it is. Because right now it's holding you back. It's stealing your future. It's lying to your face and calling it realism. Your life is an echo of what you think you are. But what if that echo was never your voice to begin with? Then it's time to reclaim it. To speak your truth louder than the voices in your head. To burn the script. To become who you were before they told you who to be. You're not broken. You're buried. And this is your excavation. You become what you think you are, even if it's a lie. So make sure the next version you believe in is finally yours.